Hello, internet. I got the bug to make another video, and I was going to make one of higher quality to the curse of low quality ensnared me, but I've got the pen and paper up. Pow. I know. So what I want to talk about today? I want to talk about a young G. That's quite rude. I should have removed this. Because it's a very serious topic. So a young G called Ananda. I've misspelled it. I was reading the Wikipedia about him, so I kind of shit to talk about. Here he is, in the stone, in the flesh of the stone. But yeah, so the reason I'm a fan of that. Actually, first of all, his name Ananda. You know, it was said because he that so he's in first of all he's a big figure. He's a big figure in Buddhist mythology or lore, whatever, he's an important dude, So they say that he got his name because let me draw the trees here. He was born. Actually, it was a singular tree. Actually, this is he was born on the day the Buddha attained enlightenment. So you have young G here. Oh, wrong one. Oh, check this shit out, man. Oh, damn, boy. That's the day he was born. And so so what it means, it basically means the bliss, that comes with awakening. That's what Ananda is. The feeling of bliss that comes with having awakened. So there you go. Looks good for him. So let me rub this all off. Alright, we'll keep it set. So, why talk about him? I talk about him because I quite like his story. So obviously the Buddha. Let me rub this off actually. Yeah. So I'll draw him out gold. It seems like the noble thing to do. So the Buddha was kind of like he was. Let's see. Let me get his face. He was VG. In a sense, he was kind of the hot topic around. During this age. Especially when he became enlightened, everyone was like, most people were trying to have a piece. It was like he's pretty good. People liked him because the Buddha taught them how to not suffer. Which kind of base. People kind of wanted this. But it's kind of the meme though. Obviously in Buddhism, to want something is not the way at all. But still. So he went around, he taught many people, and so like this thing of not suffering, is not suffering. Yeah, it's called getting enlightened. Oh, there you go, enlightened. Which is probably a very pleasant experience. However. Actually, so the Buddha, he made a group of people called the Sangha. Yeah, and they were basically his group of monks. They were the boys, They were the boys. Let me draw eyes in each of these little chuds, He created this group. He was like, this is the way. You form a community where everyone has the same goal. The same goals are become enlightened. This is, obvious. You get them all in a big room, and this kind of this is the way. So you get all the boys together, get them in the big room, pow, this is the Buddha here, and you have all the little goobers, all the goobers, all the goobers, and he speaks to them, you hear what he says, and they become enlightened, This was the method. So obviously, being the Buddha is kind of hard. It's a hard job, and so. He needs an attendant. He needs someone to like help him out. He needs someone to organize his stuff. He's got a fucking very very busy schedule. He's got like every day he needs to wake up the masses. It's kind of a hard schedule. So he needs someone to do his chores and shit. He needs someone to make him food and whatever. So what I've read is just that many people offer to do this, but he didn't really like them. He didn't find them too cool. He didn't find them too useful. So one day, the Buddha yeah, he goes, and he's like, I'm making gold, he goes to people. He's like, yo, I'm looking for a new attendant. I want a new guy, to help me out. And a lot of people, because it's very noble, to be the Buddha's attendant. A lot of people are like, yo, pick me, man, pick me. It's like, you never guess what happens. Your boy Ananda, he sat there silently. He's kind of just staring, you know. So the Buddha goes, he goes, why aren't you saying anything, And then he goes, and basically replies back, you are the Buddha. How could anything I say, you know, you know, change your will in a way? It's like you just know you will choose the best guy. Or I fear the quote is like, yeah, he just said you will choose the best person regardless. So the Buddha's like, yeah, he's keyed in. He's the guy I want for the job. And so boom, and that's how it was. He chose him. And there were two. They were very good for. They were spiritual. There's a whole series. I didn't read the bonus Wikipedia page on this. They were spiritual friends. They were happy. They were happy fellows, enlightening the masses. But unfortunately, the Buddha gets fucking old, man. He gets old as hell. He becomes 80 years old. He's old as fuck, And I think Ananda, how was Buddha online, like 20, 30, some shit. Ananda's probably like fucking 60 years, I say. So Ananda's like, he's very sad. He sees the Buddha dying. He's very, very, very sad. But the whole meme is that like, you can't feel sad. It's everything's permanent. So like it's quite. So imagine he's Ananda's in his community, but it's like you're not allowed. His like. I know it's very touching in a way. His like best friend is like the guy who is like, don't feel sad when things go. And he's like, yeah, I got it, man. But then he goes, curveball. And he said that he wept very, very hard when the Buddha died. He cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And everyone else, like, in a way, like all the other bhikkhus are like, is this dude retarded? Is this dude retarded? Like they're like, he's been with this fucking dude his entire life, and the teaching is, don't get attached to things, Like we all got it. Like we're enlightened. It took us like 5 years, 10 years, some fucking instantly. It's like how has this dude been with the Buddha all this time and still not fucking got it? And so he received a bit of hate from this, and because the Buddha wasn't there to really like protect him anymore. So there's like stories of dudes making fun of him for not being enlightened, and the Buddha like stopped. His best friend wasn't there, and he was sad. But then the boys got together. One of the other top disciples was like, okay, we gotta I want to go. I want a different color for this. He's like, we gotta have a council. I've up this guy off too. He's like, we gotta get everyone together. I need to formalize and document. What the Buddha taught. What is this fucking what did he even say? Because we're all gonna die too. And so it's like, how is this fucking, how is anyone gonna know what he said? When you have like a firm document to like, to be the cornerstone, and so to do this, the plan was to get all of the enlightened monks together, all the boys. I get them no faces, get them all together, and they would just decide, they would talk each other. But the big caveat was your boy Ananda. He was a bit of a nerd bob. Had to do a college graduation cap. He was a bit of a nerd bob. He had an excellent memory. And he was with. And also one of his when he first like joined the Buddha, he asked the Buddha and was like, I'll be your disciple if you repeat everything you say to me, even if I'm not around. I'll later tell me what you say. I want to hear it all. So the Buddha did. Well, as far as you can tell, he told him everything. The Buddha told him everything that he knew. So Ananda has excellent memory. He's like prime, like the top guy at the function. I forgot his name, but the top guy, kind of like chairing the first Buddhist council. He knew that they needed Ananda. But at the same time, you can't have an unenlightened retard at the function, man. So everyone's kind of stumped. So the entire squad, 499 monks, they all got together, and they were like, "Yo, Ananda, stop being retarded. We need you to get enlightened now, bro. Like fucking, like cash money, like now. Like just do it. Like what? How have you not done it yet?" And it's a lot of pressure, I think. It's a lot of pressure. Imagine like your entire like friend group, your entire like I don't know, your entire life's like here, like become enlightened. That's like, and this kind of eternal joke in a way. So this is the biggest weight ever, So we have a boy Ananda, and I want to make room above his head. It's a huge weight. On him. It's a huge weight. Crashing down. He needs to get enlightened. But however, thinking that he needs to get enlightened is an attachment, that he needs to relinquish to get enlightened, Like what the fuck does he do? Like how he's stressing out, So he sits, he goes, and he goes to the fucking, he goes to the water. There's the water. There's like the fucking, I don't know. He probably actually wasn't on the leaf, but I drew him on the leaf for effect, There's like fuck the sunshine and shit, And so he sits down and he meditates, like he's supposed to. I feel he's got his eyes closed. So he sits and sits and sits and sits. Long time. Meditation ain't easy. It's just painful, It's not easy. So he sits, and then eventually he opens his eyes. He still is not enlightened. This dude's still retarded, bro. Retarded as fuck, my guy. Retarded as fuck. And so, with this realization that he will never get enlightened, he then says aloud to himself, if it's not for Ananda to get enlightened, then it's not for Ananda to get enlightened. That's just how it is, That's just the way the world works. And so, he fell and went to lay on his side to go to sleep. I'll extend the lily pad, And it said, as he was falling, falling to lay his head on his pillow, pow, he became enlightened. And I think that's pretty base. I know. And and so then actually I'll do the whole story first. So then he got enlightened. The Buddhists had their fucking big. All the monks had the council. Your boy was at the function. He was here. He was happy. He had his halo. He was fucking gang. All the dudes would listen to him talk about what the Buddha had to say. He fucking knew it all, man. He was the G. And that's it's in our modern day books of Buddhism. It goes, thus I have heard. Is how every single one starts. And who was heard? Your boy Ananda heard. He's the one who heard it because he was fucking there, bro. He was there at the time, But yeah, so that's it. And then that's kind of his life, And I quite like the story, But there's I feel attached to it, in a way. I feel I think it's very sweet, It's very good, and it's very telling, and it's very good way of emphasizing, because people argue about the truth of these stories, but I think even it's it's a very good thematic trope of explaining Buddhism, It's like everyone who becomes a Buddhist, that's let's say me, for example, me, let's say I'm living my life, and I want to become a Buddhist, I'm like, oh, about the whole enlightenment thing. Ugh. I'm like, damn. My eyes are like fucking awooga, man. I'm like, oh, damn. Oh my god. I'm like, I kind of want it. I kind of want to get enlightened. But then, like, the meme is, if you want it, you can't have it. And even, it gets even more. It goes, it's this way to interpret that. I don't know. I don't know. Even just saying that, just like, depending on where my mind's at, that's wrong or right, super wrong, super right. It just depends on my intention, really, But it's like, yeah, very, very, very slippery. It's like fucking like water, or the egg yolk. 1 second, I need to draw my egg yolk. It's like the egg yolk. Very, very, very slippery. But yeah, and then there's a story of this dude. There's a guy who's with the Buddha his whole fucking life, and for the Buddha's entire life, this dude didn't get it. He just didn't get it. He was there and he was trying the whole time. Imagine what that must have been like to be the dude with the Buddha and the only fucking dude not to get enlightened. How humiliating, And he wasn't. Yeah, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. He had all the memory. He was a smart guy. He tried very, very hard. He's a very compassionate dude, And yeah, and then so you have to give even that up. You have to give up the want. There's nothing, in a way. There's no you to want. There just is. And so if it's not for you to get enlightened, then it's not for you to get enlightened, and it's how this dude got enlightened. So there you go. I don't know. I said there's no moral or anything. There's no real morals in this. It's like I thought it was just kind of neat, a neat function, a neat story. So yeah. So yeah. Goodbye. Have a good rest of your evening. It's evening. It's funny. It's pretty. Maybe not evening for you guys. But yeah. And have a good life. Really. Make it a good story in a way, or get enlightened or some shit. I don't know. But yeah. This is a story I quite like.